Hi everybody and welcome to Unwind Design Creative Studio. Today we're going to be making a really fun whimsical tree. And we're going to get started by going over our items, starting off with our colors. We have our blue, red, yellow, white, and black. We also have our towel, our canvas vertically, and we have our water with our cup and our 4 brushes. We're going to be starting off first with our background brush. Next, we have our round tip brush. Then we have our square brush. And then finally, we are going to be using our detail brush to start this painting. So the first thing we're going to be starting off with is going to be the detail brush. And we're not really going to clean it off. We're going to use the water that's on there to get it nice and going. We want our paint to get nice and flowy. So we're going to use the water in our brush just to create an outline. And on top, we're going to start by making a triangle towards the top of your canvas. Leave about 3 fingers. And we're going to make a small triangle with a wavy bottom underneath. And the water is what help this paint flow very smoothly. Next, underneath, we're going to add 2 lines. 1, 2. Get more yellow. Make it a little bit bigger and also make it wavy. It looks almost like 2 skirts or 2 dresses. Next, towards the left, we're going to add another line and another one towards the right. And we're also going to connect those 2 lines by making a squiggly line in the middle. Next, we're going to get more yellow and slightly just curve and make the trunk, which looks like a little square. And that's going to be our whimsical tree. Super cute. I love it. Next, we're going to get our detail brush and put it in our water. We're going to work on the bottom using our square brush. Okay, so make sure that you really wash that detail brush. And then you're going to come back and pick up that, let's go with our square brush. Yes, so we're going to pick up that square brush and we're going to pick up the corner of the white. And we're just going to squeeze the water out of our brush and pull that paint in there so that we could get it nice and smooth and flowy. So again, we're going to make sure that we don't overload our brush. We want to make sure that we use our brush and really mix in these colors. To this, we're going to add some blue, a very little bit, light bit of blue. We're going to be making our icy snow underneath, and we want it to be a very light color. So I'm going to go with this very light baby blue. If it's not really showing to be blue, you can add just a little drop more. See how I'm adding a little bit at a time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little wave from the top and I'm going to bring it down. We're making just a little hill. And I'm going to paint up to the side of my trunk and underneath it and then around. And I'm going to come in and just form that. I'm leaving the trunk by itself. I'm not really painting that in. I'm going to come back and pick up some more of that paint. And I'm just going to start painting all of the bottom space, going from left to right, nice and smooth. If your paint gets a little dry, pick up a little bit of water. We want it to be prepared to pick up that paint so that it'll glide smoothly. And look at how that's sliding on the canvas. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for it to have a tight grip on our brush as we're pulling across. We want it to glide almost like it's dancing on your paper. And we're going to do this on all of our bottom section. As we go down, depending on your own personal style, if you want it to be a little darker, you could add just a little bit more blue. But always remember about that water. That's what's going to really help with the blending. So again, if you want it to be a little bit more on the blue end, you can add some more blue. If you want it to be maybe white and blue, you can make it both colors. There's nothing wrong with having a couple of colors shining through in a painting. It looks really nice when you have multiple colors on there. So next, in this baby blue color that we're doing, I'm going to add a little bit more blue. And to this blue, I'm going to add a little bit of this yellow. And this yellow is going to turn my blue into a turquoise. And it's going to look nice and icy in that background. Isn't that beautiful? If your paint comes out a little bit too green, you might need to add a little bit more blue and white to even it out. If it's already light and it just looks like a very light green, add a little bit more blue to it. If your paint is a little bit too dark blue and it doesn't look turquoise enough, add more white and add more yellow. And you'll get this very pretty turquoise color. And what I'm doing is I'm going slowly, outlining my trunk, outlining around the snow, outlining my tree, and I'm covering my yellow. I'm not trying to paint on the outside of it. I'm trying to cover my yellow like if it doesn't exist. Okay, again, it was just an outline, so we're meant to cover that up. So I'm going to bring my brush and just bring it from the top and slide it down. Top, slide it down. I want to outline my tree before I come in and paint it. That way it gives me more liberty to paint more loosely around in the background without having to worry that I'm going to mess with my tree. For the next step, we're going to pick up our large background brush and put our square brush away. And we're going to pick up more of the same colors. More blue, more yellow, more white. And you can play with the consistency of it. If you think it's too yellow, you can always add more blue. If you think that it's too dark, you can add more white. If you think that it's too blue and not turquoise or greenish enough, then you can add more yellow. But all those varieties of colors shining through independently without them being fully blended is what makes this painting so beautiful. And you can go fast with your brush, but you need to practice being gentle with your brush. Going fast doesn't necessarily mean you're going hard. It just means you're gliding the tip of your brush a little bit faster. If you can't control how hard you press on your brush yet, go nice and slow. And then little by little, you'll start to get the hang of it. So again, we want to go nice and slow. We want to blend in that bottom section so that it all looks like it's the same. We're going to get some more of that blue, white, yellow. And we're going to start to paint in that background again very gently. You guys see me going fast. I've been painting for over 20 years. It's a long time. I have a little bit of practice going smoothly, gently, but yet fast with my brush. So right now is your chance for you guys to practice. Put in that time. Go nice and lightly. Don't press hard. Don't press so that you ruin the bristles on your brush. Instead, go nice and light in that background. Nice and light with the way that you're pressing that brush against the canvas. And we're going to do this all the way around until it's nice and smooth. It might look like it's a little glittery, but it's not. It's actually the light on top that's shining against the canvas. But look at how the colors transition. Some sections look a little darker. Some sections look a little lighter. From here, we're going to get a little bit of white. And we're just going to start to create these little waves of white lines in the background so it looks like wind. Again, we're going to pick up a little bit of this white and we're going to be going all around in the background, making it look like there's a little bit of wind in the back. If it starts to blend a little too much, come back and pick up a little bit more paint so that they look nice and thick. Then we're just going to blend it a little bit. And there we go. From here, we're going to switch off to our round tip brush. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be picking up that round tip and we're going to pick up a little bit of this white. With this white, we're going to come in and we're going to start to add tiny little snowflakes. We can also make them stars. To make a star, you see what I did? You put a little dot And then you start to pull lines going up to the side, 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 all the way around like a sun or like a clock. Dot, 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 dot. And like we said in the beginning, we have our snowflakes. Some of them can turn into stars. And we're just going to put these all the way around our canvas. Make as many stars and as many snowflakes as you'd like. Up next, we're going to pick up that same detail brush. We're going to make sure that it's nice and washed. And we're going to now come in and pick up some of this red. We're going to get a little bit of the red. And we are going to work on top of the star. And we're going to make it just a little bit darker by adding a tiny drop of black in the corner of our red. You don't want to add a lot. You just want to add a little tiny drop. Black is a very strong color and you only need a little bit to change the color completely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just in the corner, and I'm going to get a little bit of that burgundy color on the tip of my brush. With this burgundy color, we're going to work on making our triangle. From the bottom, I'm going to bring my little arm up. I'm sure many of you guys have made these stars before. From here, I'm going to bring my arm around, and then I'm going to connect the bottom arm with the top, and I'm going to fill all that in. That's just going to be the main design for my star. If I want to change it, make it look a little different, it doesn't have to be exactly like I drew it. Like right now, I'm making it a little bit chunkier. That's something that you can do with yours as well if you don't really like the design of it. That was just the main idea for us to work from there. Okay, from here, guys, we're going to come in and we're going to start to also add lines inside of the top triangle of our Christmas tree. So we're going to start by getting a little bit of this color and going from the top left to the bottom right. Top left to the bottom. Angled lines all the way across. From here, we're going to make lines going the opposite direction. So we're going to get that red, and we're going to go from the bottom to the top right. Bottom, top right, bottom, top right, all the way across, making all these little diamond shapes on our tree. Next, we're going to start to paint little spaces and skip a space. Paint a space, skip a space. Kind of like a checkers board. That's what we're going to be doing. Filling in all the little gaps. Like a board of checkers or chess. And we're just going to fill all of these in. Even if they don't show at the bottom and they're just triangles, that's okay. We're going to fill that in. If you cover up all that yellow, that's perfectly fine as well. And we're just going to outline the outside of our tree now with that same red color. From here, we're going to pick up some more of this red, and we're going to start to make some polka dots. You can get the bright red too. It doesn't just have to be this dark red. It could be whatever red you'd like. Dark red, light red. And we're just going to fill that section with polka dots. In the bottom section, we're going to come in And we are going to begin to make lines just like we did before, from the top of the left to the bottom of the right. Down, down, up, down. And you can just use plain red as well. It doesn't just have to be the dark red. I'm also going to add some spirals on the bottom of the trunk of my tree. Trying to make it fun and whimsical by adding these little lines. Since we're already working with our red, we might as well use and do everything that is red on our canvas, right? Next, we're going to wash our brush and pick up a little bit of yellow and mix it with our blue to get our color green. And you guys decide if you want it lighter or darker. The more yellow you add, the lighter it's going to get. The more blue you add, the darker. And I'm going to start to add my green dots on my tree. And I'm doing everything that is green. I'm also adding a little bit of yellow lines in there, washing my brush. I'm also adding blue. I'm getting all kinds of colorful in this section of my tree. I want it to be fun and festive. Next, since we're using blue, let's add some of that blue going down. Or maybe the green, whichever color you'd like. Going in between that red line, or between those red lines, over and over and over again. And it could be blue or green or both. How about both? That way you have blue and you have some green up there. That really looks festive. Next, I'm going to get a little bit of this green. I added way more blue to my yellow, a lot of blue and a little bit of yellow. And I outlined the bottom section of my tree. From here, I'm going to pick up some of that yellow. And I'm going to use yellow to outline the middle. Why not? Or you know what? Add some blue on that too to make it green. I mean, might as well blue and yellow make green, right? And that way it looks like the bottom. From here, I'm going to wash off my brush. And I'm going to start picking up the color white. With this white, I'm going to start to add a couple of highlights to my star. I'm going to make a line from the middle going out to each of those arms. I'm going to add some highlight going around my star. If I start to run out of white, I'm going to come back and pick up some more. And that way I have clean white on there. And I'm going to add some highlights inside and on the side of my tree. And that's going to give it some movement and make it look nice and flowy. Again, we're just adding these lines around. Next, with that same detail brush, I got one that's a little bit more pointy. I'm going to get some black and I'm going to start to outline the whole thing. So I'm going to start with my star on top and I'm creating loose lines, making sure that my brush has a lot of water so my paint feels like ink from a pen. I'm coming in and just creating these very rough lines, just giving it a quick outline. My outline doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going over all of the outlines around each of the sections of the tree. Again, you can pick up a little bit more water if your paint is not smooth enough. And I'm just going to go around my tree, guys. Around my tree. Picking up some more of that black. We can't forget our trunk also. We got to do the sides and the bottom. And then the last thing we can't forget to do is to pick up the color that we like and put our signature down on the right. And there you go, a fun, whimsical tree. Thank you so much for painting with me today. I hope you liked it as much as I did, and I look forward to painting with you guys next time. Bye!